All right. So I got something else for us. This is the segment for reactions. This is the KB Money Show. So it could be a little spicy, right? So let me do a quick screen share. And then I'm gonna unshare after I just hit the quick highlight. All right, so all right, what's up next? And we will do some reaction to the videos, like once we learn more about um the YouTube app rules and things like that. So we'll get there. If you
Yeah.
use your credit card, you do not want to be rich.
Mm.
Warns Mark Cuban on the Dave Ramsey show. Okay. So with that being said, uh, I'm gonna read from my phone now, but you see the article and we can drop that article. I think we're gonna work on doing a better job of dropping the article so you can like go read the full article because we're not gonna read it all to you. We'll read some of it to you, just hit some of the high notes. But most folks know Mark Cuban
Right.
from Shark Tank, owning the Mavs, billionaire. So it's not, not millionaire, billion with a B. And he's
With
with
the
a
big B.
Big B, and he's with a multi millionaire many times over, Dave Ramsey. And so you got a billionaire and a mega multi millionaire, both agreeing that, yo, if you're using credit cards, you ain't trying to be rich. All right, so Cuban warned against using your credit card if getting rich is your goal. Here's why. During an appearance on financial guru Dave Ramsey's show, The Ramsey Show, the two financial experts discussed the money saving equation of income coming in and going out. While discussing building wealth, Cuban told Ramsey, if you use your credit cards, you do not want to be rich. That's a quote.
Mm.
Ramsey and Cuban shared they laughing after it, with Ramsey revealing that people will often share this remark with outrage or disbelief. He exclaimed, "Look what Cuban said!" Explanation mark. But despite laughing, Ramsey agrees and repeats Cuban remark. So cut up your credit cards. You know, Dave, you're gonna tell you to cut them up. Cut them up. I like that line.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, Ramsey said, I like that line. Cuban agrees and reveals that it's his favorite line and that he always tells it to people. In response, Cuban explained that people would ask where to invest instead. He reveals that the best place to invest is to pay off all your credit cards and burn them. Damn, that's deep. Like burn them.
Mm.
Okay. You should do this because when you use your credit card, you know the return. For example, Cuban said that if you're paying 15 to 20% interest on your credit card, and once you pay that down, you've just earned 15 to 20%. This is how a billionaire is thinking about money. Ramsey agrees wholeheartedly with Cuban's advice that you should not build wealth using a credit card. Ramsey reveals to listeners how to build wealth and warns listeners that he's told this to people about 100 times. He also notes that a Forbes survey found 75% of wealthy people, not your broke brother-in-law, with an opinion, but wealthy people say get out of debt and stay out of debt. And so, the article goes on and on. I'm just scrolling through, just catching some of the highlights. Uh, and of course, there's going to be pushback about, oh, you need to open up a credit card to build. Now, this is me just, reacting to what they're saying now. For the one, I agree. I agree 100%. You're talking to someone I did not cut. I
Mm.
don't cut up my credit card, and I still agree. And it might sound hypocritical, but stay with me. Hear me out. Hear me out. I earn enough income to be able to cover me using my credit card, even though, like last episode, we talked about you spend more money when you use credit cards. However, what I didn't disclose is we leverage automation to pay ourselves first a significant amount. So now we're getting into when we are using our credit cards for our wants, if you will, we're still paying it off by the end of the month. And so but it's still a double-edged sword. And to be honest, even you talking about someone that make good money, I'm still telling you it's a double-edged sword, and we spend more money than we set out to. Now, are we reckless with it? Nah, we're more on the conservative side, but I'm still telling you I spend more money. So, like, if you're not in the position to be able to spend more money because you're using the plastic of a credit card or floating it into your next check, probably should cut it up. Now, to the point of what I was going to say, I hear what you're saying. I know what you're going to say. But Ken, I got to build my credit because one day I want to buy a house or I want to, you know, I hear you. And to some degree, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. And if you do decide to use a credit card, because it'd be hypocritical for me to tell you to cut it up, and I have one, here's what I tell people, like if I'm coaching them, get one, you get a credit card, attach one mandatory bill that you can set up on auto pay with that you can set up and make sure it's a small bill, like a small bill where it could be like utilities, cell phones, like something small, and don't put netness on it. Like attach it and then make sure you pay it consistently on time every month, and don't even keep it in your wallet and just
Mm.
rock out like that. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the caveat that I'll put out there. If you just have to keep it, because it'd be hypocritical if I just went and said no credit card ever in life. You know, so that's my caveat when I talk with folks. What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts as we wrap?
I think the most they know what they're doing when it comes to get generating that controversy. And honestly, the two most controversial words in that sentence is just credit card because it just evokes all these emotions of, oh, I got my friendly Amex or my Discover. Like I'm building my points and my rewards and all that. So we mean I gotta cut all that out of my life? You didn't got caught by the bells and whistles. You didn't got caught up. And so I like to think of it a different way. I like to rephrase it. And when I hear it rephrased this way, it makes a lot more sense to me. Stop using debt if you want to get wealthy. Because
That's what I
that's
hear.
all it is at the end of the day. It's debt with a lot of bells and whistles on you. It's debt with some reward points on it. It's debt with some perks. But at the end of the day, you strip all that away, it's debt. And it's
Yep.
really bad debt if you're having to pay that 15 to 20% interest rate. That's horrible debt. That's an ankle weight if you're trying to swim to the island of wealth. Like that's horrible.
Yep.
And so I fully agree with them on that point. And yeah, it can be like you said, you don't have to go all or nothing and go burn up your credit cards. But if you're going to play with debt, you got to pay to play the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that discipline of zeroing it out every month. It doesn't feel good. It would
Yeah.
feel so good to just be like, next month. But no, pay it off every single month and have that zero balance. It don't feel good in the moment, but it sure feels good when you go to sleep. Like, okay, you know what? I might not have as much in my checking account as I want, but I don't owe nobody anything.
Facts. Pro tip with credit cards, utilization rates. No more the traditional recommendations out there is no higher than 30%. But I would challenge you to do no more than 10%. Because that will help you stay to that one, that will keep you to just attaching one or two things to it just to keep activity to building up your credit. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you all on that particular segment. Dave Ramsey, Dave Ramsey, and Mark Cuban. So hopefully you got some value from that. Don't be too mad at us. You know, we try to stay balanced, and I'm not trying to be hypocritical, but I always got to
That's
keep it
fine.
real with you guys.